Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor Radio Show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, and we are excited. We have special guests. John's going to introduce them, and we're going to get this show rolling. We're going to first talk about the markets and of the week, and then we have some exciting news for you.
Yeah, we have a great show planned for you today. We're going to be diving into the 2024 elections and the future of taxes. We're going to examine how election outcomes could affect your taxes and retirement plans while discussing the promotion of conservative values in politics. We have two very special guests in the studio with us who shares Alfie's company's core values of God and country. And joining us are representatives from the Conservative Leadership Caucus. We're going to talk to them in just a minute. But as always, jot Alfie's number down, 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Alfie's book was in high demand again last week, making waves in retirement from waypoint to waypoint. He does have some copies available. If you would like a complimentary copy of Alfie's brand new book, just text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. Don't miss out on these valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save. Either call the operator or text the word book to 239-747-1077. And Alfie, it's been a tremendous week in the market, records being broken, and a lot of optimism out there with companies' earnings are really doing well, aren't they?
Yes, sir. Earnings are doing good. The economy grew a little bit slower than expected. Inflation picked up in March. So what that means is usually, as inflation is picking up, the markets wouldn't be doing good. But then the Fed spoke and they said there's going to be, it looks like 3 rate cuts in 2024. I think the market was pricing in only like 2, the way that the economy was going. And like we talked earlier, John, the markets are really reacting to a good economy. Companies are still hiring. That's good news. But you did say, there's a lot of companies that are being laid off. Yeah. Laying off, right. Closing their stores and laying off. So there's mixed reviews in there. But overall, like you said, the markets are rocking and rolling. The confident index reaches highest level since July of 23. So that's a builder confidence driven by low resale inventory. So again, inventory's low on housing, but the builders are doing, their optimism is high because they are, starting to build homes. So we're building a new home, and I think we're building at a right time, because we would have done it about a year ago. It would have been supplies would not have been there. So inflation had recently been stickier than expected, so some good things are happening, but I don't think good enough to get Biden elected.
No, but as you always say, the market factors in these rate cuts already. That's probably why the markets are jumping, right? Because they figure they're coming. It's just a matter of when, is it?
Yeah, because, it looked like, there were supposed to be 6 at the beginning of the year, and then it went down to 3, and then a lot were thinking, man, there might be only 1 or 2 rate cuts. So when Powell spoke this week, and it was talking about 3, that really drove the markets high. Like you said, we're in record territory. So if you're in the market, you're doing good. But we do want to bring our guests on and talk a little bit about our core value, like John said earlier. Our company value is God and country, and we have 2 people here that we just love, Andy and Brian, and I'm going to have them talk a little bit about. Well, I think Brian's going to do most of the talk. Andy's going to be taking pictures. She loves to take pictures. So so this is Brian is director of the Conservative Leadership Caucus. And there's going to be, and then Andy Hurricane, she is a volunteer, a founding member. And so I want to bring Brian in right now, and Brian Bright, the director, like I said, and, tell a little bit our listeners on what this is all about.
Well, first off, I want to just thank you for having us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate the opportunity to talk about God and country and our we certainly share your values, your company's values in that. But the Conservative Leadership Caucus is a political action committee that was started last year to continue to get constitutional conservatives elected. I don't know if people know this, but Lee County is one of the most conservative, it's the most conservative county in the state of Florida.
That's great.
And probably the third most conservative county in the nation. And we base that on, the number of registered Republicans versus the total number of registered. So to that end, one of the things that we just worked on and completed last week was we sent out 5,000 mailings to new registered voters here in Lee County.
Nice.
Encouraging them to join the Republican Party.
Yeah. Are they people that are moving into the area?
Yes.
Okay.
Primarily, yes.
5,000.
And so, and to a great extent, that was a large Hispanic community. So we wrote the letter in English on one side and Spanish on the other side, right?
Smart.
So that we could make sure we were communicating. But we do fundraising so that we have funds to support our candidates. We're an all volunteer organization. Nobody, if you get involved with this Conservative Leadership Caucus, there's no money spent on anything else.
Nice.
We've got a contributor who pays the rent for our office.
Nice.
So we don't even have an office expense. I mean, we have, some supplies and things like that, but I would say 99% of our revenue goes to supporting constitutional conservatives and getting out the vote and things of that nature.
Are you guys involved on the local level as far as school boards and things of that nature, or just the national election?
Absolutely. That's one of the beautiful things about the Conservative Leadership Caucus is we can get involved in the primaries where there's a lot of Republican clubs. If they have Republican or GOP in their name, then they fall under the local Republican Executive Committee that falls under the Republican Party of Florida. All of that's good, but their charter is, hey, we support the Republican nominee. We don't get involved in the primaries. So to that end, the CLC has been very involved in the school boards. I personally just hosted a fundraiser for a candidate running in the primary, Vanessa Chavano, and she's going to be running for school board. Last year, we flipped 3 of the school board seats. Now, they run nonpartisan.
Right.
Okay. But you can go to the supervisor election and see if they're registered or not. And right now, of the 7 school board members, 5 are registered Republicans, 1's a registered Democrat, and 1's no party affiliation. Of the 47 elected people in Lee County, that makes 45 of them Republican.
Oh, that's strong. That's strong. Now, tell us, we're going to be talking, more about what we do here at the Advanced Retirement Group and how your money matters. But tell us a little bit about this dinner that you're having. This is exciting. You guys, first, you started with 10 people 14 months ago. You're at 120 registered members right now, that's awesome. Again, all volunteer, but you have a dinner that's upcoming, and I'm impressed with who your speaker is. Can you tell a little bit about that and how they can come?
We are very excited to have Senator Rick Scott as our keynote speaker this year. And so that's just very, very exciting. And actually, he had a major conflict that he really had to jump through some hoops to change around some other things in his schedule. So that's how devoted he was to the Conservative Leadership Caucus. But we'll have dozens of state and local officials all speak.
Now, do you know where it's going to be at? And you have everything. Can you tell a little bit about that?
Well, if anybody wants to contact me about it, let me give you my cell phone number. It's 239-209-4735. Again, that's 239-209-4735. Or you can email me. And my email is Brian, BRIANHW, 1959 @gmail.com. And I'll send you more information. But on the 19th, that is our big fundraiser, if you will.
Good. And exactly where's that going to be?
That is at
Pelican Preserve.
Pelican Preserve. I always want to mess up that name. Pelican Preserve here in Fort Myers.
Nice.
And it's a very beautiful venue. We had our first one there last year in January, or in February of last year, and we had our first dinner. And the beautiful thing about we call it the legacy of leadership, because we award good, solid constitutional conservatives who have made a difference in this county with awards. And that's why we call it the legacy of leadership dinner.
Love it. Well, listen, thank you and Andy for coming. This is exciting time to be really living here in Lee County. We are, like Brian said, we're in the best county in the country. I think we're number one, but that's okay. And if you to see Senator Rick Scott, that would be awesome. Give Brian a call and make this happen, and come and support their mission, God and country. You can't go wrong with that. You got God and country and conservative leadership. So Brian, we want to thank you, and cheers and blessings to your whole organization, you and Andy. And again, thanks, and we'll get this out and we'll talk a little bit more, but thank you, and we will be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with certified financial planner professional Alfie Townsend. Alfie has over 40 years of experience in this industry, and he is Southwest Florida's premier financial advisor. And if you have economic uncertainties putting your financial decisions on hold, Alfie has put together a free toolkit that will help transform your worries of retirement into confidence. Alfie's toolkit will give you a wide range of materials, such as will your money last as long as you do? Are you paying too much in taxes in retirement? We're going to talk about that. Social Security Decisions Guide. Will a recession rob your retirement? To get Alfie's free toolkit, all you have to do is either call the operator and ask for it, or text the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. It's time for a worry-free retirement. Get Alfie's toolkit today by simply texting the word KIT, K-I-T, to 239-747-1077. It'll take you to a landing page, and you'll be able to check out and get all that information. And today we're going to be talking about some key strategies to identify opportunities. And Alfie, we just had some incredible people in our studio talking about the conservative platform, and really conservative values and free markets is really what drives the economy and the economic sectors. And the economy is doing well in spite of all the restrictions that have been put on them through this federal government.
That's what I like to say, is just think what it would do if you would take off some of these regulations that are there. Look at the EV cars. They're like forcing down our throat. No one's buying them. So these are things that let the free market dictate what you're buying. And what the consumer wants. That's the bottom line. And trying to get rid of the stoves, and just have electric stoves instead of gas stoves. And I mean, my goodness, there's so much that they just need to focus on other things, and focus on really cutting the deficit. Focus on cutting the deficit instead of, here it is again, the school, paying off debt for the kid.
$8 billion.
$8 billion for that. We don't have that money for that. There's a lot going on that we need someone that's a businessman, and someone that can really cut things and still have the economy grow. And we just, this election cannot get here soon enough. I want to tell a little bit of a story from someone that came in this week, and they were looking for additional income. They happen to have a lot of Apple stock. So what we were able to do is tell them, Apple really doesn't pay much of a dividend on this. Are you using this stock? Are you taking money from this stock? Or are you taking it elsewhere? And they said, no, we're just letting it, sit there and grow. We're taking money elsewhere. So we were able to get these people an extra $100,000 a year income on money that they weren't using. So what we were able to do is put some options. Now when I say we have a team. What's nice about what we do is we have, we're partnered with some very large money managers, and we're partnered with really a financial group that helps us with the attorneys, if we need attorneys, or the CPAs, or whatever we're needing. But with the manager side, they're able to do things that we don't have to do in office. You don't want us to do it. You want someone that this is all they do. So what they were able to do is create about a 5% extra income on their Apple stock. And they could take that, and as long as if it grew up to over 15%, hey, they would have an option. Do you want to buy that stock back, or do you want to sell it and then buy it again? So they were able to get the 5%. And if Apple hasn't been growing like it was the last few years. It's been sort of slow and just sitting there coming up and down. So, if it makes 15%, then you would have made 5% income on that, which is $100,000 that they weren't getting now. And they would get the gain of the Apple, sell it, and buy it back. And it was in an IRA, so there's no tax consequences on there. And they said, why isn't my advisor talking about that? Alfie, you talk about structured notes, about, how to get income. They're paying about 8% right now. Why isn't our advisor talking about these things? And I always talk about, you might have outgrown your advisor. We talk about it all the time. You might have had this advisor for many, many years, but they're not growing with the times. We talk about Cousin Steve all the time, and he taught me how to grow because of the lesson that he had. He lost his job in the early 80s because he didn't learn how to work the computer, and he did all the editing for Chrysler commercials. So I said, I was just starting my career 2 or 3 years after that, and I said, I will never be in that position where I put my clients at risk and I put our business at risk. So your son, John David Antonucci, and I, we go, anywhere between 5 to 10 times a year around the country to listen to the best of the best, to find out what's new and find out what we can do and bring back to our clients. So if your advisor isn't doing that, give us a call and let's see if we can increase you might have something in there that we can increase your accounts by just making a little tweaks that you're not doing right now. So if you're looking for income, if you're looking to say, I want to reduce volatility, but I want to keep, increase my income, give us a call and let us show you how to do it.
Yeah, you owe yourself a second opinion. And Alfie Townsend is 40 years experience as a certified financial planner professional. He's a fiduciary, which means his responsibility is to you. He doesn't stock pick, track record invest, or market time the market. He has put together a retirement simulator process that will take a deep dive into your current portfolio to see what's really going on. He'll actually take your portfolio back 5 years and put it next to his, and you'll be able to look in black and white and see how yours would have performed. Inside this retirement simulator process, he's going to expose all the hidden fees that could be eating up your returns. Each and every year, he's going to make sure that you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly. How about not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting? He's going to analyze your risk assessment that will tell you exactly what your risk factor is, not 0 to 10. He has a program to be able to put in numbers that will give you a really detailed assessment of your risk factor. You owe it to yourself. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077, or call the operator and tell them I want to take advantage of Alfie's retirement simulator process, 239-747-1077. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till we go off the air today. Pick up your smart device right now and text the word VISIT. Get it started. Get the process started. And really, Alfie, as we come into the final year of the tax cuts of President Trump, people have to really be planning ahead and have to be prudent, or else they're going to pay a lot of undue tax that they might not be prepared for in the days ahead.
Oh, you're right, because we know we are really deficit of $1.4 trillion every year, added on top of $34 trillion. So just paying the debt down, just the debt is almost $1 trillion a year, just the debt.
Crazy. Okay.
And now interest rates are higher. So that's why, if the Fed start to lower these rates, that will help out on some of that debt. But we got to get these rates down some so we can control the debt, just paying the debt interest. And then we can pay into, in the 90s, early 90s, when Newt Gingrich and Clinton got together, they really worked out a thing with the debt and got this thing,
Yeah, I'd take Clinton right now. You kidding?
I'm telling you, man, they work together, and I think this election, I know there's a lot of animosity against Trump, but I think more and more he's trying to bond with more than just the Trumpsters. He's trying to bring in other people, because these other people, independents, Hispanics, blacks, they know that this country's in trouble, and they know. Look at these gates wide open. I mean, the borders are wide open, and the people that are coming across, a lot of them want to hurt us.
Yeah, now you got Haiti too, same issue.
And so this is, thank God we have a great governor, Ron DeSantis, that's taking matters in his own hands, not waiting for the government. So we're blessed to live here in the state of Florida, in the county of Lee County. So we don't see as much as other people see, but because of good leadership, and that's what our country needs, is good leadership to get us out of this mess that we're in. You're listening to Save the Investor Radio, and we have so much more to talk about. We're going to talk a little bit more about this past week. We're hitting record highs in the markets, and why are we doing that? Election year, so much more to talk about. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Good morning, Southwest Florida. You're listening to Saving the Investor Radio Show. I am Alfie Townsend, Southwest Florida certified financial planner professional, here with John Antonucci, and there's so much to talk about. We have some questions that we've gotten from our radio show, our TV show, and workshops, and just in general from clients, and we're going to share that today with you. And this might be something we're going to talk about that's on your mind and wanted the answer, and we're going to give it to you this morning.
Yeah, we're certainly going to give you a lot of answers to questions that are probably on your mind, because Alfie is going to give you some key strategies that will definitely identify opportunities arising from these market shifts and help you balance your portfolio accordingly. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on these insights, because Alfie is passionate about empowering you to take control of your financial future. And one of the things that he's done to help you and help our listeners is he's put together his second book, which is really in high demand, called Making Waves in Retirement from Waypoint to Waypoint. Alfie has a complimentary copy reserved with your name on it. To claim your free book, all you have to do is text the word book, B-O-O-K, to 239-747-1077. Alfie's book is your guide to a fulfilling retirement. You don't want to miss out on the valuable insights, including many, many stories about investors that he has helped save over 40 years in this industry as a certified financial planner professional. Text the word book to 239-747-1077 and secure your free copy right now, or just call the operator and tell them I want a copy of Alfie's brand new book, Making Waves in Retirement, 239-747-1077. And Alfie, taxes are always something that people are dealing with, and they impact them. How might outcomes in this year that we're facing really impact the tax landscape for retirees that really aren't looking at the tax ramifications when they pull money out of their portfolios?
You know what? Think about this. Taxes are going to be going up in the future. Okay, if it's not this year, next year, or year after, it's going to go up. So when they go up, if you have tax-free money, you just made a big investment, saved a lot of money on a big investment. So you didn't have to make that 15% return to get that type of income, because you don't have to take out as much. If you have to take out $50,000 just because you need $30,000, that's a big hit on taxes. That's $20,000, let's say, on just $50,000. So if you were able to just take out $30,000 because that's all you need, because it's tax free, that's what I'm talking about. There's $20,000 that you can save and grow your money that you don't have to pay Uncle Sam. So if you're not planning for taxes now, this is something that you need to do. You need to plan. We have different strategies. We have different software that we can show you. With Roth conversions, we can show you that taking really Section 7704 of the IRS code and showing you how you can. There's no limit on the money that you can put in here. You can be a big executive and have a big income right now, and you could say, you know what, I want to fund this thing with $100,000 a year, $500,000 a year to have an income of a few $100,000, a few years from now, but it's tax-free money. So you can put money aside right now and have some tax-free benefits and tax-free income down the road and not be limited to what you can put in, like you are a Roth or IRA and stuff like that. So if you are looking for a large income down the road, if you're looking for money that you can put in now for 5 years, we can show you how to take some tax-free money out that would blow your mind, because it's tax-free, unlimited, and it would go to your heirs tax-free. So when you're talking about tax-free, and if you're getting, if you're passing on $1 million tax-free, that's like passing on, John, 1.5 million.
Yeah.
If you had to pay tax on it. And so there's some great options out there, but you have to open yourself up and say, let me give you a call and see what they're talking about. Let me, see if this is something for me. It might be for you. It might not be for you. You might want to, check your portfolio out, see what strategy. So, the retirement simulator is something that looks at everything. Income, it looks at what's going on inside your portfolio. It looks to see if you're paying, too much in fees. Are you, invested in a lot of international stock when you should be in more U.S. stock? So it looks at everything. And, I look at it this way. The people that are successful are the ones that have a routine. If you think about it, the people that are successful, I know all the successful people that I know, they have a routine. If it's a routine in the morning to get up, to, if it's to work out. I was talking to one of my mentors this past week, and he's on the treadmill at our time at 5:45 in the morning. He's talking to me at 6:45 for an hour, and he's on the treadmill.
Nice.
While he's talking to me. And that's, but it's 5:45 his time. That means he had to get up at 4:30, 4:45 to get there. So this is what successful people do. And the other thing what successful people do, John, is they don't put things off. They don't put things off because
get around to it, right?
They get around to it. They do not get around to it. They get on it. Yeah. And so when we're talking about different strategies and checking out, what you currently have, it takes a phone call, or it takes an email, or it takes a text to say, you know what, I want to go ahead and set up an appointment, and I've been thinking about it. I want to get it done. Just get it done to see if it's something that would help you put yourself in a position to get some tax-free money down the road and to grow your money in a more efficient way and without these high fees.
Yeah, so let me get this straight so our listeners can really get the impact of what you're saying, because you said a lot there. You can actually implement strategies for retirees right now to help safeguard against potential future tax increases. Is that what you're saying? So if they do something right now, they will safeguard themselves or put them in a position so if taxes do rise, they're not going to face the brunt of that.
That's right. And John, we can't help everybody. Everybody's in a different situation. But when it comes to the tax-free, we can help a lot of our people that call.
Yeah, that's very good. And taxes are something that you're going to be dealing with. But fortunately, Alfie has put together a plan that addresses uncertainty and instills confidence in your future. As a certified financial planner professional with over 40 years experience in this industry as a fiduciary, which his responsibility is towards you, not any products or services that he offers, Alfie has put together a tax map that strives to help you achieve 3 goals. Number 1, he can help lower your tax bracket. Number 2, he can protect your money when taxes rise. And number 3, he can actually create for you a tax-free income. You need to reach out right now. It's absolutely free. Get a hold of Alfie's tax map that he has prepared. All you have to do is call the operator, tell them I want the tax map, or text the word TAX, TAX to 239-747-1077. Again, that's 239-747-1077. Don't hesitate. Call or text now to request Alfie's tax map, the time to minimize future taxes and generate a tax-free income for you and your loved ones is right now. Call or text the word tax, TAX, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. And Alfie, you talk about IRA, Roth IRA. We're in a fluctuating tax environment. Are there benefits or drawbacks of converting from a traditional IRA for those that may have those to a Roth IRA?
Yeah, and that's just one of the strategies. The one that's unlimited that we talk about, it's not the Roth. It's something different. But yeah, if you have a Roth, you can take money from a Roth and move it over to or take money from a traditional IRA and move it over to a Roth and pay the taxes now. So people say, why do I want to pay taxes now? If you can pay taxes now with after-tax dollars, like, you have money in the savings, if you have to pay $50,000 now on taxes, you would see, there's times to do a Roth conversion. Usually when the markets are down, you want to go ahead and start thinking about a Roth conversion. There's a 5-year wait. People get this thing all messed up, 5-year wait. If you had a Roth that's already 5 years old and you never did anything with it, it's $5,000, that counts for your 5-year look-back period. So a lot of people think every time you add money to a Roth, it's a new 5 years. It's not. It's when you first establish the Roth. So these are things, people come in and say, well, I didn't know it was like that. I thought it was this. So yeah, that's it. That's the thing. If you look at what you, a lot of times people get information and they don't really understand the information that they're getting. So I'll show you if it makes sense, because there's taxes and there's additional taxes that they'll take from your Social Security. So we have a software that says, okay, look, if you do this amount, this is the tax you're going to pay now. This is what it costs you, but look what you get in the future. It's amazing, because if you can grow your money tax-free and then take it out tax-free, it's a whole different ballgame. Because taxes go up, it won't affect you as much than it will someone that did not do what you did. Planning, like I said earlier, planning to work out, just planning in general, you're going to be in a much better shape than you do if you don't do any planning.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. So you got to plan, but again, don't procrastinate. If it does take a text to text us to say, hey, I want to send stuff to you to see if we can be in a better position, or set up a time and let us show you what we can do versus what you have. It doesn't cost you anything. And I always say, my friend says, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make dollars. And it makes sense for you to compare what you have to what we can do to see if we can put you in a better position. You're listening to Alfie Townsend. I am Southwest Florida Certified Financial Planner Professional, here with Pastor John Antonucci, and our phone number is 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. We're going to talk a lot more. There's so many more questions that people from our TV show has asked us that we're going to really tell you the answer to their questions, because they're basic questions that people ask all the time. So we'll be right back.
Welcome back to Saving the Investor with Certified Financial Planner Professional Alfie Townsend. We're talking about market volatility. We're talking about taxes. We're talking about a lot of things that you can really take advantage of. And we're talking with one of the top financial advisors in this region, Southwest Florida's premier advisor, Alfie Townsend, with over 40 years of experience as a certified financial planner professional. And Alfie, how can someone that's listening to us really be sure that their advisor, or when they come in and visit with you, aligns with their unique needs? You tailor custom fit each plan to each person. You don't have a cookie cutter approach. So How can they align with what you're trying to accomplish in their lives?
Yeah. So what happens is this: we're going to know if we align, when we have that first meeting. And we had someone come in this past week, and he's handling all the investments. Okay, he's handling all the investments, but the wife is scared because he's a little more risky than she would be, quite a bit more risky than she would be, and a lot of the money is in. I would say 70% is in one stock that he's riding. Wow. Okay, so he has done very well, but she is concerned about that one stock. Okay, and she knows that if something happens to him, she would make changes. Okay, she would make changes. So what they're doing is they are, interviewing me right now to make sure that we're a good fit. They've read my books. They like our meetings. They like how she likes us and likes me and likes your son David, and they are, they're leaning our way, but he's not ready quite yet to make that change because he doesn't want to let go. And there's people out there that doesn't want to let go. But the main thing is he knows that he told me, I want to make sure that something happens to me that our kids don't get involved, because they're all over the place. They're out west, they're, up north. So they're all over the place. And he wants to make it simple for her. And that's why, they're meeting with us and getting a relationship. And, so it's important. So when I look at people's situation, that's a total different situation, because that's someone that's doing very good right now, but wants a plan for the future for his spouse.
Yeah, and the people that are going solo, there's a lot of risk with that, isn't there? Because they're not really up on the different changes like you are and always prepared for what's coming next.
A lot of times people that, this guy was different. This particular person that came in, a couple that came in, but typically what happens is, if they're doing that by themselves, John, their emotions come in the way. It gets in the way. What happens is the markets start to, go down. Like they had a 45% drop in their portfolio back in 2022, 45% drop. But he did the right thing. He didn't panic, and it came back and then some. But a lot of people couldn't take that. A lot of people would be selling out, and then after they're selling out, they put in something safe, and they never make that gain back up. They never, our job is to put them in a situation after we find out what their risk is to put them in something that knows that it would go down a certain dollar amount, but they're okay with that certain dollar amount, and they know that they're not all at risk. That's the thing. And then so it can go down, they know it's going to go down and up, but it's only going to go down a certain point. So we have different strategies. We deal, with different instruments to, protect money, to create income for our clients, but that they don't have access to.
Yeah. So going solo is one challenge or aspect of challenges. How about for the person that really are sitting here listening to us today that say, you know what, as I'm listening to you, my current advisor doesn't really meet my expectations. I haven't seen what I wanted to see. It's hard for them to change as well. What would you say to them to be able to get them to have an appointment with you just to find out a second opinions?
I always say, John, change is hard, and the older you get, the harder it is to change.
Right.
Okay. And, you stay in a rut. That's why people stay at a job so long, because they're afraid of change. They might hate this job. There's people that are in relationships because they're afraid of change. They're afraid to leave, and the same thing when it comes to your portfolio. But all I can say is change is good. I mean, that's why, we're successful, because I'm not afraid of change. I am not afraid of change. We will change if we see direction, change that we need to do for our clients, for our portfolio. I jump on that so fast. I will do our Zoom meeting, and I will let everybody know this is what our managers are saying we should go to, and so we're going to make those changes, and it's important to change is important. So if it's changing an advisor, First of all, if you see what we're doing, and you'll see that, if you see the advantage of change, but, don't be afraid of change. I mean, change is good.
Yeah.
You know that, John. You change all the time.
Yeah, you have to change, and maybe you're someone who's going solo, doing it yourself, and you're not meeting the expectations of what you expect to happen in the markets. Maybe you're sitting here listening, and maybe your current advisor isn't meeting your expectations. Alfie has put together what's called the retirement simulator process that will take a deep dive into your current situation and really see what's going on. You owe it to yourself to get a second opinion. He's been doing this for over 40 years. He is a certified financial planner professional. He's Southwest Florida's premier financial planner and strategist. He'll put together an income plan and a strategy that will not only get you to retirement, but get you through retirement. With his retirement simulator process, he'll take you back 5 years, and you can compare side by side his portfolio with yours, see how his would have performed next to how yours actually did perform. Going to take a deep dive inside the portfolio and make sure that you're not taking undue risk for the amount of return that you're getting. The hidden fees will be exposed that could be eating up some of your return percentages each year that you don't even see. It's going to make sure you're allocated properly, that you're diversified correctly. And you need to get a hold of this retirement simulator process. All you have to do is text the word VISIT, V-I-S-I-T, to 239-747-1077. That's 239-747-1077. Alfie effectively communicates your goals and expectations, and that's going to help build trust between you and him. And you know what? You're going to know if it's a good fit to be able to work with him on a long-going term relationship. Give Alfie a call or text the word VISIT to 239-747-1077 and take advantage of that retirement simulator process today.
John, while you were saying that, I said, and I told you changed. And I'll tell the listeners, when I first met John, and he preached, he would wear the most wildest suits and the wildest ties. And now he did away with all the suits. It was Robert Graham, a bunch of Robert Grahams, and you even got rid of that, right?
Yeah, I wear some of them.
You wear that still? Okay. But change is good sometimes. And, we talked a lot about this really segment is change is something that, if it makes sense and you can see that there's advantage, and the only thing holding you back is afraid of change, don't let that discourage you.
Yeah.
Let that be your motivator to change, and change that. Like I said, change is constant. And I had really a mentor that told me that many, many years ago, change is constant. And embrace it. Don't be afraid of it. So, we've talked a lot about the markets this week, and the markets are, one thing about the market. Long run, you're going to make a lot of money. You're going to fight inflation. I don't know if you ever seen our TV show. It's called Saving the Investor. It's on NBC2. And we've been on that channel for many, many years. And it's on every Sunday at 11 o'clock, right after Meet the Press. It's a half-hour show, and we really dive into different strategies and different things that you can see. Radio's a little bit different. You have to hear it. But we've been on 92.5 for many, many years, well over 10 years now. And it's, I got to see what the longest running show is on 92.5. We're probably, hitting that stride. So that,
and then longer than Clay and Buck.
Yeah, that's true. Not as long as Hannity, though. Yeah, but again, our phone number is 239-747-1077. And I wanted to talk about Jake. He's been on helping us for a long time now with our production. So we are blessed to have Jake, the millennial, and we're blessed to live here in Southwest Florida, Lee County especially, and have our Sheriff Carmine. Love him too. So until next week, have a safe weekend. Be blessed.